The Big Brother Scrabble Golden Power Veto competition was a short-lived, one-season use power veto competition as it turned out to be a big disaster. Find out why now on Big Brother Cheesecake 4 Office Wars. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 4 Office Wars. It's day 27 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week Curtis is the head of household. He nominated Brandon and Lynn for eviction, but who will win the Golden Power Veto competition? We'll find out shortly. But first, this Scrabble Golden Power Veto competition was a new competition. And sometimes new competitions work out great, like Survivor Man, Exploding Beats, Clue. This turned out to be a big disaster. And that's okay, it happens sometimes. The 7 house guests who were not playing were probably very lucky to not be involved in this mess. In fact, yesterday was the first day that I did not think about Megan at all. She did not cross my mind at all. So I have to make up for it with... Megan, here we go again. My, how can I forget about Megan? Megan, I would never fuck her because I don't fuck women. Yes, she is really lovely, makes delicious trifle. First there's a layer of ladyfingers, then a layer of jam, then custard, which I made from scratch, then raspberries, more ladyfingers, then beef sauteed with peas and onions, then a little more custard, then bananas, then I put some whipped cream on top. My, how can we forget about Megan? Okay. So, the Golden Power Veto competition, Cole's Notes version, everybody got a Scrabble board, such as this, one that Curtis got. And you could swap up to 6 tiles, up to 4 times, and whoever had the word with the greatest number of points wins. Side note, I said that there was a secret twist in the competition, and before everything went cuckoo, I decided just for fun, because Nick asked me, is this for the people in the competition or everybody? And it was for the people in the competition, but I decided, along with the mole, we both decided to have fun, or try to have fun, and say that it was for everyone. So then Brenda and Marcin and everyone kind of freaked out and were like, where is this secret twist? And then I revealed later in the day that was just the moles doing. But that alone was just the tip of the iceberg. So there was a secret twist so what happened? Last season, Julian cheated in an endurance competition. And because of that, my guard was up regarding cheaters, and I know that there is a Scrabble generator where you can just put in your letters, and the Scrabble generator will put out the longest word. I considered telling people not to use a Scrabble generator, but if you tell 6 people not to do something, at least one will. So I said nothing in the rules in hopes that people would play Scrabble like you would at home, without the help of a phone or a computer or anything. I mean, it's debatable as to whether it's cheating or not, but I remember I played in a backyard version of the mole that my friends Kevin and Eitan, shout out, put on. And at one point, Michael Pez, shout out, hi Michael Pez, and I were in the kitchen, and Kevin's binder, which is sort of like his sort of Bible towards that season, Kevin left his binder on the kitchen counter. Michael Pez and I easily could have opened up that binder, likely found out the identity of the mole, or various information, and would have had a huge advantage. But I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to win that way. I don't want to come home and look at a plaque that says Backyard Mole Season 2 winner, and know that I won that by cheating. So Pez and I, we looked at each other, and right away, we handed the binder back to Kevin. Because I don't want to win that way. But what happened was, 5 out of the 6 house guests decided that they were just going to use a Scrabble generator. And so, I mean, the whole point of this competition, and I went back to look at the rules because I meant to say the house guest who comes up with the word with the longest or with the most amount of points will win. And I didn't end up saying that, but I meant to say the house guest who comes up with the most amount of points, not the house guest who uses a computer generator to come up with the most amount of points. So the secret twist was that if any house guest came up with the best word possible based on a Scrabble generator, that house guest would be disqualified. And 5 of you did come up with, 4 of you, one word is debatable, but 4 of you, possibly a 5th, came up with a word that was the longest word that a Scrabble generator could come up with. The problem was, one of the words, which was the winning word, was a word that, when I looked at this person's letters, it was believable, it was fathomable that person could have come up with the word themselves. I stared at the letters, and even though I know the word, so it's difficult to look back in hindsight, but I stared at the letters and I could kind of see where that person got that word from. And even though I still think they used a generator, it would be debatable, and I wouldn't want somebody to lose if he or she actually came up with that word. But the other words were just ridiculous. I mean, some of these words, I haven't even heard of some of these words. So, and there's no way you came up with this. So what I did then is I called the house meeting and I said, listen, 5 of the 6 of you used cheated and used a Scrabble generator. Yes, I know. I didn't say you couldn't cheat, and I also didn't specify in the rules that the house guest, the person who comes up with the best word, will win. So I decided I want it to be as fair as possible, because one of the reasons why season 1 is the worst season, it's still a good season, but was the worst season of the first 3, is because every competition was new, and at the end of every competition there was a debacle over who really won, and Chad would say Jeffrey's a cheater, and there would be a house blow up because of rules not being tight or because of decisions that I made unilaterally. So I didn't want to make a unilateral decision. I wanted to make it fair and have everybody make a decision so that even if somebody lost the competition, they could say, well, at least Andrew made it as fair as possible. And every new competition in Big Brother Cheesecake, there's the risk of it blowing up in my face. Some competitions are recurring, they happen every year, and some are new. And like Survivor Man last week was great. Exploding Beats was great. This just blew up in my face. And the other problem was the Merriam-Webster's dictionary and the Scrabble dictionary are different. And then there's the whole issue with proper nouns. And it just became that also was a big mess that I'm not even going to get to because I could take 10 minutes with that. I posed this question to the house guests. 5 of you cheated. Do you want to have the winner? Do you want to leave it as is and whoever has the best word wins? Or do you want to just go to a random draw? Brandon, Lynn, and Ashley said leave it as it is and the person with the best word will win. Ryan, Curtis, and Kat wanted just a random draw. So it was a tie, and I deferred to Ashley, who was the only person who did not cheat. Ashley decided to leave it as it is, and I figured since she was the one who actually came up with an actual word, which was a weird word too, but whatever, that I'm going to defer to her. So we are leaving it as it is, because the secret twist is not in play either, because I don't know if the winning word, if the person used a computer generator or not, because I could see that word actually being come up with. So I think ultimately I did the fairest thing possible. I didn't usurp anybody or make a unilateral decision. Everybody's opinion was in. So hopefully, and this competition is never coming back. And what's funny is people right after I said that said, no, I love this Scrabble competition. It was so much fun. Don't scrap it. But there really is no way to do this without people being able to cheat if they wanted to. I hate to say it. Even if you play it live, even if you give somebody 30 seconds to submit an answer, they could still type in 30 seconds into a Scrabble generator or something and come up with a word. So there's just no way. And some of you did say after the fact that And actually, everybody fessed up, which I really appreciate that everybody just said, yeah, I used a generator, because, I mean, some of these words are just, yeah. You all fessed up, and I appreciate that. Some of you did say, if you had told us not to use a generator, we wouldn't have. And I believe those people, but out of when you tell 6 people not to do something, there's always going to be one, Julian, that's just going to do it anyway. So, yeah. So it was a hot mess, but I do believe the right person won, so let's get to the results. Ashley, who was the only one who did not use a generator, came up with the word golfier, as in the Gulf of Mexico looks golfier this year than last. 11 points. Ryan came up with wash bowls, as in the Scrabble generator I used said wash bowls was the word with the most points. 20 points for wash bowls. And I will admit that if you take into account that you can swap Scrabble tiles, that does make it a little more fair in that you're still trying to get a certain word if you think you can get a word better than what you have. I'll admit that. And Lynn did say that the letters J, Z, and Q and X should not be allowed because they're worth so much. And I get that point too, because if you get one of those high letters, it gives you a huge advantage. Okay, Ryan is in the lead with 20. Curtis, in 30 seconds, comes up with hydromancies. Yeah, you really came up with that all by yourself. 23 points. But again, everybody admitted it, so fine. Cat. I'm not even going to try to use hydromancies in a sentence. Cat. Phenoxy. 22 points. Now here's the real kicker. Lynn, Curtis has the lead with 23. Lynn came up with deflegmating. And if she tried to say she came up with that all by herself, I might have just kicked her out on my own. I mean, what's funny is, and I appreciate Lynn for being honest. She said, I was trying to find the right words right away. I was doing it all by myself. And then somebody told me I was being naive. So that's why I used the computer generator to come up with deflegmating. Lynn, the other Lynn, Farquharson, last season in the final 5, after not winning anything the whole season, had this miraculous performance in the mastermind competition. And I asked her, Lynn, who helped you? And she was, no, nobody fucking helped me. What? Are you fucking crazy? Nobody helped me. And of course, Alvin was helping her. So I do appreciate, Lynn, that you were honest, because last year's Lynn, I lost the Scottish accent. Marson hated that. I can't believe you would think I would cheat. No, whatever. Okay, so Lynn and Curtis are tied in the lead with outrageous words. And now we finally have Brandon, whose word was Jezebel, which is worth 25 points. Congratulations, Brandon. You have won the golden power of Veto. So Brandon's word was Jezebel, and you know what? In looking at his letters, it is conceivable that he would have come up with that on his own. I'm going to let that one go. So, Brandon, you have won the golden power Veto. You have until 11 p.m. Eastern Time tonight to privately message me whether or not you are using the golden power Veto on yourself or Lynn. Curtis, you have until 11 p.m. tonight to name a replacement nominee. Privately message me with the name of a replacement nominee. Okay, will Brandon use the golden power Veto tomorrow to save himself or Lynn from the chopping block? Find out tomorrow. In the golden power Veto ceremony Tuesday, the final 2 nominees plead their case, and Wednesday is the next live eviction ahead of household competition where another house guest will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 4-house, lose their shot at the $400 Cheesecake Factory gift card, and be fired from Dunder Mifflin. I'm Andrew Chef Moonvest. Take care, and we leave you as we eavesdrop on the house guest. Good night.